starting, so hopefully it is. All right, so it looks like we're live. I think we're live.
Are we live? Yeah, we're live.
Are we live?
We're live.
Well, it says it's waiting for us, so.
All right, so we'll wait and see what happens here.
Here it goes. Sweet.
Now, how do I actually get into seeing my screen? That's the one thing I still haven't been able to figure out.
You have to have a different, I don't know. I mean, I just do it in two different.
I got it. There we go.
What's up, everybody? Sean, Finger, Dave Ports.
Hello, Gun Nation.
What's up, fellas? CWB, what's going on?
CWB is in the house. Hello, gentlemen.
How you guys doing?
Are you talking to us?
Great, not you.
Craig.
No, I don't even like you. Craig Fatla, Big Daddy.
I don't like myself.
Right? Why would you?
We don't like you either.
What's up, Rich? Paradox?
Mr. Paradox. Got the
Paradox,
Hello Gun
the
Nation.
PO1, man. He shot 250 rounds through it, and he loves it. Not surprised.
Matter of fact, I put my mitts on a PO1 Omega today.
You don't need an Omega.
Well, no, I was just like, man, for the price they were wanting for it, they were wanting $629 for it.
Yeah, whatever. Pass.
And I was like, man, I could grab a Cajun gun kit. And
Well,
that
I'm
would be
I'll
great.
be honest with you, man. That Strike B, you know, you and I were having that conversation the other day. I don't know what I want to do with that thing yet. I haven't decided. I mean, for
Well,
the
you've
price
got
of one,
time.
for the price of one of those, I can go out and buy two other things. I don't know yet. I haven't
You've
decided.
got time. You got time.
Yeah.
Got Mr. Live for Wild.
Up, live for a while. There's my boy Sean.
Pops. Yeah.
Pops is here.
Yeah. Pops is in the house. Gerald.
7
7 up, 3 down. Y'all haven't subbed him, please sub 7 up, 3 down. He's one of my Texas brothers.
I just subbed him the other day.
Yeah, he needs some subs.
Suet.
Got Mr. Frank in the house too.
Frank Thomas, man. I haven't seen him in a while, right?
Yeah.
Rich,
I paid too much for my PO1, but you can't find them fuckers anywhere around here. Yeah, Rich, I know in some areas they want golden prices for them for sure.
Yeah.
And no FLP, there is no resist. Buy a damn CZ.
You know, speaking of overpriced, I went into one of the locals around here, and he had a Creed, Walther Creed in there. Guess how much he was asking for that damn thing?
500.
530.
$435.
Crazy.
That's ridiculous. $435.
Hey, Wicked's giving us a hand signal. He loves us.
I think that means hello.
We're number one. We're number one.
Hello, Wicked.
Yeah, Sean, I was gonna say PO1 Omega is a nice gun, but if you already have the regular PO1, you know, you can put a kit in it and make it like you want it to. Big Al's in the house.
Who
Al,
who are you saying that to?
Big Daddy, did you sell it? That's a pretty good price.
Oh, that's a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm trying. I know this is gonna sound crazy. Should I try to sell my gun on this live chat? I mean, should we do that? Anybody want to buy a PPQ? PM me. Selling my FDE one.
You've been talking about selling that for months.
I know, but I want to sell it. I don't need two of them, and I like the tungsten gray better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to move forward.
All right. How many do we have on? We got about 26 on here now. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, they're offering you $100 for it.
Oh, good. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. So I just want to start off really quick by I don't know if the lighting is going to be good enough in here, but that is one of my CZ Mafia for Life t-shirts. Again, guys, if you don't remember or haven't heard, you only have till the end of this month, and these t-shirts will be gone. AbaddonApparel.com. Please make sure you buy one. You know, you don't have to buy 15 of them, but definitely buy one. You know, because again, it's all going to C-Max, and you know, that's the least we can do for them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they want to see your PPQ that you're hawking off.
I gotta get it. Oh, there's my SIG that I haven't heard anything from SIG about. Thanks, SIG Sauer.
Hey, You remember I was telling you they were talking about 2 weeks out anyway, and then they were going to send individual emails to people. So,
yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm not in any hurry for mine. Shit,
Me
they'll
neither.
fix it.
There it is.
Mateo,
There's the
Mateo is in the house.
Look at that thing. Jesus, that's pretty.
That's beautiful.
It is a good gun. Not gonna lie.
No, I like mine.
All right, let's see.
See you, Gerald.
What's up, Gerald?
Damn. Oh, softball. Okay. Thanks, Gerald, for stopping in, man. We appreciate it.
All right, so I want to bring up something really quick, and then we'll let you guys kind of carry it forward and see what everybody thinks on this. So I made that video on the P10 and the issues I was having with it, and I made the conclusion that it was actually my mistake and yes, I'm muzzling myself. Why? It's empty, whatever. But one of the things that I came to the conclusion about was that it wasn't necessarily the guide rod system. And it certainly was not the gun. It was the fact that the spring I was using was not the correct spring. And once I switched out the springs, it was flawless again. So I got a couple of people saying, you know, a couple of things on the video. One, for example, was, why would you switch out a spring and a guide rod from the factory one if engineers designed that specific guide rod and spring for that particular gun? The second comment was, why would you need a spring and a guide rod to reduce muzzle flip or recoil, whatever it is, for a 9mm when there's not much to begin with? So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say and what your opinion is on that. And then we'll see what the panel or the people out there have to say.
Big Johnson. Well, so you know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of aftermarket guide rods simply because I've had some experiences with some titanium or steel guide rods, whatever. This would have been in a Glock 34, and I had immediate problems with it. And it was supposed to be the recommended spring weight and all that kind of stuff, and it just didn't work very well. So I'm skeptical of that sort of thing. You know, I'm a fan of a lot of aftermarket parts. I mean, if you've seen some of the stuff I've done on the channel, I like farting around with a lot of different things, but there's some things that I tend to not mess with quite so much, and one of them is firing pin springs. Although you can, especially in Glocks, I tend not to because you can get light primer strikes and all that kind of stuff. But then guide rods as well. I'm a believer in the factory guide rods, that sort of thing. I mean, I get the principle behind it. I definitely do, and I've seen lots of videos where there's great success with aftermarket guide rods. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
I am a big tinkerer, and I definitely like steel guide rods versus polymer guide rods. However, if you can't get a steel guide rod, then, use what you got. Yeah, I mean, when it's for target, like if you're just going to a range and you're just shooting it, yeah, by all means, test the crap out of it. Test it with your regular ammo, your defensive ammo. Right. And I would run it through a battery of tests before I ever carried it. Mm-hmm. But, to make sure it's working correctly, and like that DPMS system, you've got 3 springs that go with that. So you need to find what works for your particular ammo and then test it. Right. If it's working correctly and you've ran 500 or 600 rounds through it with no problems, go for it. If you've had problems, then switch and begin your testing again. Right. So, but I mean, it's just like, everybody has an opinion. We all know that. And whatever works for that person, let it be their decision. But no, I'm all for steel guide rods,
So there's been a little bit of pushback. A couple of people have pushed back a little bit on the polymer guide rods, especially with the Glocks, and again my Glock 34, and a couple of other ones in the past, maybe some old Gen 3s, whatever. I've always had good luck with them. They run fine. I don't put 50,000 rounds through a gun. I never have. I mean, my Glock 34 that I competed with certainly had the most rounds. And it didn't have 10,000 rounds through it. If it had 7 or 8, that was probably about max. And frankly, those polymer guide rods, they will go much longer than that. I mean, they say you should probably change them out at about 10,000 rounds or so. But I saw no wear and tear whatsoever. It did the job. It did fine. Plus, it ran ammo that wasn't terribly expensive, which was great. So it worked well for me. But I kind of get it. I get why some people aren't fans of them. It just, they put it in the gun for a reason, and frankly, it works just fine for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I just think that has to do with testing and what your particular preference is. So.
Yeah, I don't really think that switching out a guide rod is going to destroy your pistol in any way or the reliability of it. I think when you add different springs to it, you have to test it. You don't have a choice. You know, my mistake was the day I shot it and had the failures, I just didn't have the other recoil springs. But I'm sort of kind of glad I didn't, because I probably would never have tested the heavier ammo or the hotter ammo, whatever you want to say. You know, at least this way it forced me to do it, and it forced me to go out there and use the correct spring that actually worked. One thing I did notice also with switching the spring was that on the first spring I used, which was the longest spring, I was having a tough time racking the slide because there was that much tension built up in the spring. With this one now, it's much easier to rack back into place, and it actually allows me to do this, which I haven't been able to do for a while with this gun. So, I mean, to me, you know, like anything else, if you're going to switch a part out, you got to test it. I don't think you should shy away from switching things out, because whether or not it's a 9mm, 357, a 10mm, I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. I want a gun that shoots with minimal recoil, that I can put 20 rounds on target as fast as I can, as accurately as possible. You know, I know there's still that debate between, you know, 9mm, you know, 40, whatever. You know, I look at it from the standpoint of, I guarantee you I can put 20 rounds in your chest and put you down. It's just that simple. And I'd rather do it with something that I can control and that's easy to get those secondary shots on. So that's why I stay with the 9s, and that's why I put the system in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, with 9, it offers you more round capacity too, which, you know, we might not ever be in a gun fight, so to say, but ammo is not a bad thing to have.
Yeah, I know. And for somebody like me, I got 10-round mags either way. So you know what?
Exactly.
It is what it is. But I bet you this will hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely would. So, and real quick, there is, you know, and I said this a little earlier, I don't know if we've got a lot more people on here now, but if you haven't subbed 7 Up, 3 Down, please do. He's one of my Texas brothers. Matter of fact, himself and Kanosh P, we're going to be doing that Real World Guns this Saturday. As long as we don't get rained out, we're supposed to get the typhoon hurricane crap coming through, so hopefully we don't get rained out. But 7 Up, 3 Down, and Kanosh P, he's a subscriber, and he also has a channel too. But we're going to meet up and shoot and have a good time. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Cool.
So I noticed that Wicked had a run-in with someone who was kind of calling him all kinds of names because he had Nordic tattoos. So I put in there, obviously, this person probably called him a white supremacist or a white nationalist. And we're not going to get too hot and heavy into politics, but that's just the ridiculousness of people today and how friggin' stupid they are, you know. Whether or not he's got Viking tattoos or not, I don't really think Wicked's a white racist.
No.
But again, that's the problem. You know, you start right away manipulating everybody, and this is what we get.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, idiots are everywhere. You know, we can't we can't control everybody. We know that. So
one other thing I just want to bring up, guys, and you know, get your takes on it. I know Big Johnson probably won't have much to say on this one because he still hasn't bought one of these. But you know, we've been noticing a trend lately on a lot of the YouTube channels about what the new hot guns were or are, I guess. And for whatever reason, I guess the newfound discovered gun is the Walther PPS M2. You know how amazing it is, and I just saw a couple of videos released. Like it was brand new, like it just came out yesterday. And I once again, I'm confused. Why are we just hearing about these guns now when this gun has been around forever? And, you know, it's a great gun. What else can you say? But I get a feeling also in the future, we're going to see a lot more of these, the Steyrs, because I get a feeling these are starting to finally get hot on the market, which I think is a good thing because, you know, this is a fantastic gun. It is, unfortunately, I hate to say this, it is replacing this gun as my favorite.
Wow.
So I am now a full-fledged Steyr fanboy because they're that damn good.
Well, you know, I mean, and I've shot the Steyr, you know that. And I mean, I really do like it. I personally don't own one yet, but I think it's a great pistol. I mean, I put it this way, and y'all know how I feel about Glocks, but I would have a Steyr in a heartbeat over a Glock. And I think it's actually, and I've shot Glocks, I've owned Glocks, and I think the Steyr is a flatter shooter than the Glock personally. Not that the Glock's bad, but, you know, for fit, I mean, for in my personal hand and the angle, I like it a lot better. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think they're both fantastic guns. I own them both. Obviously, the PPS M2 I'm a huge fan of. That's what I carry most of the time. And I kind of made this point a little bit on a recent video of sizes of guns, that the PPS and the Shield as well, to a large extent, are two of the most shootable, in my opinion, single stacks out there. There are some single stacks you can't go to the range and shoot all day, or at least I don't think you can. Some of them, they're hot enough and they kind of beat you up enough to where you want to run a few rounds through, make sure it works, and kind of be done with it. I'm testing one now. But the PPS and the Shield are they're comfortable guns. They're well-made guns. They're heavy enough to where they can really be shot all day long, but they don't beat you up at all, and they're super comfortable. So I'm a huge fan. And the Steyr is just a unique gun that I think a lot of people were sort of shy because it didn't have a G at the beginning of the name for a long time. But it's if you try it, and you kind of get used to a few little quirks about it, because it does have a couple of quirks between the grip angle and the sights. But once you get past that and kind of settle in with it, you sort of realize it's an unbelievable firearm. I mean, it really is one of the best shooters out there, in my opinion.
Yep. And are you talking about the PPS?
No, the Steyr.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, the Steyr ergonomically, I don't know what it is about the gun. I mean, it looks extremely awkward, and I think that's what everybody's take is on the gun, is that it's an awkward-looking gun. But once you put it in your hand, it just absolutely molds to your hand. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It doesn't matter if you have a big hand, small hand, fat hand, skinny hand, hairy hand, smooth hand, whatever. This gun is just going to fit amazingly in anybody's hand. And I would even consider this a good gun for a lady to have. Even though it is a bit bulky, I still think if you go with like an S9 as opposed to the M9, you're going to get a great gun. I did a video a long time ago on the S9 comparing it to Glock 19 size and an XD Mod 2, and it's like in between both of those, so it's extremely carryable. Obviously, mag capacity isn't that great at 10 rounds, but if you can look past that, you're going to get a great gun, because I have had no issues with this gun at all. I think I've got now probably like 550 rounds through this, and I think out of 550 rounds, I've only taken 3 shots of brass to the face. Is that a big deal? I don't think so. Not after that round count, and it's going to happen. But other than that, it's been flawless every single time. Every single time. It's just a great gun.
Nice.
We've got a couple more people joining us. We got the Crazy Scotsman, and if y'all haven't checked out the Crazy Scotsman, please do for the C-Max giveaway, the raffle he's got going on. It's a great deal. So check out the Crazy Scotsman. You can stub him, in his comment. And then also we got Do It Right. We appreciate you being on Do It Right. You never can't say his name right. Radama. He's on. Yeah. Okay. The Do It Right. Do It Right. Saying check out the Honor Guard.
Yeah, I thought about that gun, but there's so many similarities between that and the Shield that I just didn't see the benefit of going that route. And it's a little more expensive than the Shield, crazy enough.
Well, actually, there's been a lot of problems with them. If you really look at them, they've had trigger issues, not going into battery issues, and it's not every one of them. It's just certain ones when they make them. Mm-hmm. And I know that they're fixing them and doing things like that. But I've only shot one time, and it had that extension where it stuck out past the barrel, so you could stick it in someone's chest, which is, it's a cool idea, but it's just a little awkward looking. I know you can get different versions of it, but I mean, I've already got the Shield 9 and 45, and there's no reason for me to have it.
Right.
Hey, Dave Ports was asking about the LC9 S Pro. Have you guys had any experience with the S Pro?
Negative, none.
No.
I don't really carry guns that small. No.
I don't have a Tic Tac holster.
It's not even that. I just, like I said, for me, it's different from the rest of you in the free country. It doesn't really make sense for me to carry small guns or really big guns because I don't have the regular capacity in, like, let's say a PO9 that what does it have, 17 or 19 rounds?
Mine has 21.
Well, whatever. so I'm relegated to 10. So it really doesn't matter, for me to carry a huge gun like that. I'm probably not going to do it. Even with the smaller guns, like the PPS carries 8. with the extended mag, obviously. For me, I'd rather carry like a Glock 19 size. And even the M9, extremely carryable as well. I mean, if you wear a good belt, good holster, you wear, you know, it's a type of clothes that's going to conceal it well enough, you can carry anything. But for me, I try to shy away from anything too small or anything too large.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had experience with the LC9S Pro. I had an old LC9, the original version, which was an okay gun, but the trigger on it was pretty bad. I hear the LC9S Pro has one of the better, if not one of the best polymer triggers actually on the market. However, it is so light that some people are a little bit leery about carrying it because it just, I mean, it really is a hair trigger. So they almost overdid it. I haven't shot one. I haven't had any experience, but that's almost every review I've watched. They've all said the same thing. It's an incredible trigger, but probably not necessarily the best for carry.
Right.
Yeah, we do have a question. What do you guys think about the Glock PMags for long-term use and carry? Now, I personally don't have any experience with them. I've only heard things, but probably just like everyone else has. But have y'all personally had any experience with the PMags?
No.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got a couple of the ETS and a couple of the PMags both. The PMags, I use those at the range sometimes. They're kind of junker mags. I've used them with snap caps in pistol classes, defense classes, that sort of thing. So I know I can kind of beat them up and not worry about it. Same thing with the ETS magazines, and I know those have had some issues. PMags, their first generation of them, there was a kind of a version 2, whatever, that came out not long after the version 1, but the version 1 apparently had lots of problems, lots of problems.
Yeah. That's what I heard also.
Right.
So.
But the Gen 2 or version 2 apparently are a lot better. But really, for the money, you can get Glock magazines for
true,
$20, $25. So for me, I'd rather just buy the real thing and just,
And Wicked is saying that he has PMags and they don't work all that well. So there you go. Yeah, I really wouldn't want to mess with it either. So, but
I just get the regular Glock brand mags. I mean, for the price difference, you're not really seeing a huge savings on it. And I'd rather have the original. You know, that's just me.
No, I can understand that too.
You know, if it was a duplicate, like a Mekgar mag that's not branded, I'd say, yeah, absolutely. We know it's a Mekgar, go get it. But you have to be very careful with those.
Mekgar mags are a whole different animal. They're made, I mean, they almost make everyone's mags.
That's what I'm saying. So you could go with whatever and you'd still get a quality magazine.
I was going to say, I've never had a problem with a Mekgar mag. Matter of fact, I choose, even in the SIG P320, you know, since they changed to the US checkmate or whatever, you know, when I knew that change was happening, I went out and bought every Mekgar mag, you know, made in Italy that I could buy for my 320.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up was I got an email from Apex. They received my trigger. So if you guys have put an Apex trigger in your 320s, remember they are also not drop safe according to Apex. So you have to send those back, and they gave me a $50 credit for anything that they sell. So I've got a plan for something right now with that. So that's pretty cool. It's disappointing, but it's still pretty cool. And like we alluded to earlier, so far, I don't know anybody who's heard anything from SIG at this point. So I'm kind of trying to, figure out what's going on with that.
We've got a really nice comment. Adele said, "Live naked girls privates."
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Apparently you don't get laid much. That's cool.
That's great. Yeah. Rich is excited too. That's awesome.
Rich, hey, he just subbed to Adele.
Yeah, Al says, "Adele, this is a gay chat." But and also, hey, I made a sub this week. One of my subs, Brett Glover, I wanted to give him a shout out. Met him this week. That's I thought that was really cool. That met a sub. So
nice.
But let's see here. Fairmont's got dual residency for Arizona, California, so he could buy a gun. Lives in California, drives to Arizona to buy. Yeah, that's awesome. NC Civil War is saying that a friend of his has dual residency. And I would definitely go buy in Arizona so I could have it in California. Because I tell you what, California, there's a lot of guns that are brought into California, such as, high-end CZs and everything. And the prices, I mean, they're selling guns for like $5,000 for a TSO and $6,000
Jesus.
And you can buy them for like $1,800 everywhere else. I mean, it's just insane what they're having to pay for guns over there.
Hey, Dave Quartz was saying that he got his email from SIG for his. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, Dave, when did you register yours? And I don't know if they're going first come first serve, or if they have a number thing. I know that I registered mine at about 6:15 a.m. Central on Monday morning, so it had to have been pretty early on in the game. But I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that morning I sent it out probably about 7:30. I sent mine out that day whenever we were supposed to, and I haven't heard anything.
Right.
So who knows? I'm sure they're inundated with probably thousands upon thousands of them. So
yeah, actually, I didn't even know he's on the chat. Brett is the guy I just met this week. He's on their chat right now.
So Do It Right's going to be making me a video for, I believe, the Honor Guard pistol. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that. I've seen a couple before. You know, it's just, I think more aesthetically and even ergonomically, it just reminds me too much of the Shield. And you know, I'm more of a fan of the PPS anyway. But you know, sure, man, knock yourself out. Although I will say I really do like the CCP, and I know he's got one, and somebody else on the chat also said they had one. I just don't know if I trust the gun enough. You know, I know they had the recoil, or not the recoil, but the recall for the drop safe issue. They supposedly fixed that, but I don't know, man. There's just certain things about the gun I don't like, and unfortunately that outweighs the things that I do like.
There is a question out there, and I think that KS can answer this one. Radonima is asking, anyone heard about the new Glock coming out? So KS, you can take this one.
Yeah.
Hey, KS, can you show it to us? Do you have it already?
No, I don't have it yet. However, potentially. So, okay. So shut up first off. So Sunday, Centerfire Shooting Sports, my local range, they're having a Glock day, and they are bringing in a bunch. I don't know what a bunch means. I mean, I'd say somewhere between probably 5 and 10 of the new Glocks, and there'll be an opportunity to buy some. And depending, you know, I don't know what to expect just yet. I'm not sure exactly what the features are. I think the grip will probably be one of the things that's different. It probably won't have the finger grooves. Beyond that, I don't know. It might carry on the front serration thing, which is fine. I've enjoyed that on mine. But there'll be potentially an opportunity to buy the new one. I don't know. I've got a Glock. It works just fine. It's kind of tricked out the way I want it to. But if nothing else, it'll be really fun to see it. I'm going to try and film it if it's appropriate to do it at that time, and we'll see what happens. So
you're basically saying that the new Glock is going to be the 5-year-old FNS 9.
No, what he's saying is that the new Glock is going to be the Gen 1 Glock.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, but
I don't know, man. Everybody complains about the finger grooves in the Glocks. I think the biggest mistake they made was they just made them a little too narrow. I mean, you know, there's other guns that I guess sort of have them. I know the Steyr has them, but there's much more room in between. But I mean, I like them. I don't have a problem with those finger grooves.
Okay. Well, if I put my hand on a Glock 19, I better have a double undercut to match up on my thing.
You're a mutant, man.
Well, still, what I'm saying, they just don't fit.
So
hang on. My hands would fit on the APX, right, KS?
See, all right. So speaking of the APX, this is a great example of good finger grooves. They're there, but they're really subtle, and they're very curved. They're barely there. So I think anybody with any size hands, even mutant hands, could definitely enjoy a gun like this, and you wouldn't be forced one way or the other with your fingers. So I agree.
Hey, Scab is saying it's time to release a new strand of the CZ virus. You talking about that? Oh. Maybe. But Humble Marksman's on also.
Yeah, Humble Marksman. I don't have a tramp stamp like you do probably, but you know, I just want you to know that I do not have a Walther tattoo, and I don't have a Steyr tattoo. I don't tattoo my bodies.
Because when you carried your Vickers, you know, it has the RTF and it scraped your tramp stamp off. Remember?
Yeah. Whatever, guys.
Yeah. thought you had one of
I
like
mean that.
Vanilla
I mean
Ice
that
or
with
something.
all humor and intended, humble marksman. So don't get offended, in case you're a snowflake. I'm not sure.
He said you wouldn't tell. That's what he said right here.
I saw it in the video when he was shooting. You could see it, just peering out of his shirt. It was very
Al says,
awkward.
Big J, you and Pops in SoCal have the CZ illness. It's not an illness. It's a lifestyle. CZ life.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this article from Guns America as you guys are talking, and they supposedly give you a sneak peek of the Gen 5 Glock. And I guess they put some cutouts on the underneath the slide or something like that. But I mean, it literally looks like a Gen 1 Glock, only with the Gen 4 texturing on the grip.
I believe it.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure people will buy it.
Probably me.
Mateo's saying that he thought your tattoo was on your inner thigh.
On my hip bone.
Oh yeah, okay. Rich is already wanting a new CZ.
Well, it's tough, man. I was looking at a CZ not too long ago, but I still haven't decided on that. I don't know what I want to do.
Rich, what CZ are you looking at? What do you want? Answer me now, damn it.
Hurry up, Rich. Type. Get your sausage fingers on there and type something.
Hey, Keenan, good to see you. Kevin, welcome. Oh, an SP01 Urban Gray. Those are good looking.
Yeah.
Yep. He had to run away before he bought it. Humble is saying
now I got a dolphin yin yang
next to the dolphin yin yang he has.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
They're still cooler than your unicorn and your Care Bear. Okay.
Hey, we started a new thing. What's your carry gun of the day?
So are any of you guys going to tell us what your carry gun of the day is?
No, I'm asking y'all. I already have one out. I just popped it out.
Mine's the same answer I give every time. It's a laptop.
Your laptop, we know.
Yeah. I unfortunately was in a place today that was not a gun-friendly zone, so I had nothing with me till I came home and got it, and then I just took this out with me, the PPS.
Okay, today. I've got the CZ P07 with the extended +2 mag, and it is loaded, so I'm not going to play with it.
Oh, I also wanted to say, if anybody is interested in buying a P07, not that I'm selling mine because I'm not, there was this really interesting one on Gunbroker. And they were selling it for, I think, $485, but it was Cerakoted on the slide with the thin blue line for the police.
Oh, cool.
Pretty awesome. So the top of the slide had the thin blue line, and then the front serrations had white stars on it. So it's pretty dope. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that.
Let me do a gun shout out. Big Daddy G carried the P7. NC Civil War PPS M2. Rich 4150 P01. Sean, his CZ P07, and he's at work with it right now. Humble Marksman P01. David Glass Gen 19, Gen 4, or Glock 19. Mateo has his SAR B6P today. Let's see here. We got Philip, his PPQ M2.
Yeah.
P01 Urban Gray. That's a nice one. And Kevin, his HK30 SK. Okay, and CWB said he had his P07 by now, but he had to drop $1,800 to cut his trees around his house. Damn it! Hey man, you can get I just use my my brush guard and just knock the trees down. It's easier and it's cheaper. And Paradox had a Shield 9mm. Man, Paradox, you need to be rocking that P01, brother. Keenan G30, CWB M&P 9C. Al Osborne, FNS 9C, Dave Ports, LCP, get fired if he gets caught. And let's see here. Scab had his M&P 9C. So that's it. That's our rundown.
Don't forget Al, FNS 9C. Oh, wait, you said that.
I said that. Yeah.
Dave said he'll get fired if he gets caught with his gun.
That's right.
Yeah, and I know some places are really sticky about that, and I completely understand. Paradox got his Mid-Atlantic holster just shipped to his house, or to his holster. They shipped his holster today.
Cool. He's gonna like it.
NC Civil War has a question. Anybody have CCW insurance?
God, I feel like we've answered this 3 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, we've had different people ask about it, and yes, I do. I have legal. God, what the hell's the name of it?
Great. You're a great salesman.
Well, hey, man, I don't sell it for them. I have firearms legal protection. So
I have Jesus.
This one. But yeah, and it's got everything. It's got bail insurance. It's got gun if your gun's ever taken from you, which it would be. You don't get it back in the correct amount of time. They'll pay you up to $1,000. It's got cleanup fee. So if there is mess to clean up, they take care of that too. I mean, it's a really great thing. And also it handles civil, which you'll have a civil trial and a defensive trial too. So it covers everything. So it's a really good investment, but you can check into it. So Mateo has USCCA.
I have Jesus on my side.
There you go. Well, sometimes, I want to keep all my shit. I don't want them taking my CZs away.
There you go.
Yeah, and Scab ran a deal. He had there was a PO7 deal out there for $385, and then a PO9 deal for like $409, I think. Man, that's a smoking deal that he found too.
Yeah, and I know that I think Mateo mentioned earlier that he saw the prices of Steyrs going up as well, and he would be absolutely 100% correct on that. I mean, just a few months ago, you could find them in the low 400s, like maybe 420. Yeah. Now I'm finding them a lot going for $5 and change.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the wisest thing for Steyr to be doing. I think they need to keep the prices relatively competitive and low, like in mid fours, maybe. Because a lot of people still don't know about the guns, but I will tell you, they're catching up. They're starting to get a little bit more aftermarket support. I mean, you have 3 choices of night sights now. When I first got my first one, there was only, I think there was only two choices. 2 choices at that time. Now there's 3. You've got the DPM systems you can put in there. Other than that, there's not a heck of a lot, but you still have holster choices that are available. So little bit by little, they're coming out, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about this before too. The gun industry right now, I mean, it is a buyer's market for sure. And who knows what the hell's going to happen. I just saw that deal about Oregon. Did y'all see that thing about Oregon now where the police or any member of your family can just say that you're crazy and they'll strip your guns away? There was a legal brief on it today.
That's nice. We'll see how the courts decide on that.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll be a Supreme Court case.
The Humble Marksman is contemplating an M2.55 inch. Humble, it's funny you say that. We've had a couple of conversations about that very firearm.
Yes, we have.
It's kind of one of those deals, and it was the same thing with the APX for me. There's interest, but it's tough to move on that one. And for me, locally at least, they're so overpriced. I mean, they're really $550, $600, and I don't think that gun is worth anywhere near that much. I think it's a fine gun, but I think it's probably worth $499 or $449. Just my opinion.
Yeah, Humble saying they're $500 right now. Actually, Sean just gave y'all an update. Cajun Gunworks has P10 night sights now.
Yeah, they do. I've known that for a couple of
weeks. How much are they now?
They're a little bit less than Cajun or CZ Custom.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Probably the same damn site.
Probably.
I mean, they look good. Eventually, I am going to get them. I just don't know when.
Yeah. Mateo just picked up the PO7 and 40.
Actually, I was thinking of just throwing some fiber optics on this and just being done. I'll be honest with you, it's cheaper. And you know what? Do I really need them at night? I don't know.
Well, they're just. I have heard that they're selling just the front sight now for the P10 for $35 or something like that.
Well, I mean, the front sight for the P10 is the identical sight for the PO7. So if you have a PO7 sight, just knock it off and put it on there. You're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Sean says he's getting his put on tomorrow. So,
right.
Yeah, Red and Black Dog's in the house. We hadn't seen him in a little while.
What up?
Been at least a week.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So
also we had a recommendation, and I wanted to run it by y'all. David Gadd 66 sent me a message and asked this. Just to make sure that now, of course, I know on each channel we put out a reminder for our chats, but he's saying maybe all of us should do a little reminder and let everybody know what channel it's going to be on. And then also, he recommended kind of like what the Yankee Marshal does, like just throw it out there. Hey, what kind of topics would you like to talk about? And, see if the subs put topics in there to where, we might want to put them together and just kind of see what we got. But I think on here, we get a lot of questions asked also.
Yeah. Unlike some of the other channels that were mentioned, they don't necessarily respond to questions. I mean, we're always open to answer what we know, obviously, because I don't think anyone would consider each other experts in anything.
No.
And honestly, I don't know if we really want to put a topic on here because it's kind of free floating, man. We just bring up things, random things, and if people who are asking questions bring up something that's not related to the topic, we want to be able to talk about it. So I think the way we're running things is okay. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Let's see here. And also, I wanted to bring this up, and I don't know if this is what they're talking about here, but that bullseye sight, I think we've all talked about it and seen it in the past. Have y'all had any? And I know they're like $200, but have y'all ever thought about getting one of those or running it?
Nope.
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people, I did see a review where they were kind of comparing it to an inexpensive red dot, but I don't have enough. I've only watched some videos on it. I've never actually held one or looked through one. Where you can take your front sight completely off.
Well, you don't even have to take it off. You can leave it on.
No, they're saying if he was saying the example, if he left it on, it actually kind of made him try to look at the front sight versus focusing on that, so he removed it.
Apparently, Suet, I just want to mention this. Suet has some obsession with my arm hair.
Who?
Yeah, he made a comment on one of my videos about my arm hair.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Let's talk about my arm hair. Dude, what is?
You're not hairy, dude. I'm freaking.
I mean, I'm a Suet. I hate to tell you, I'm a guy. Okay, I don't shave my arms. I don't shave my armpits. I don't shave my legs. Why? Because I'm a man. Okay, and men have
a grown ass man. Yeah.
And then Humble Marksman asked this interesting question: whether or not I thought, and I know maybe Chaos will know something like this about that other web channel or whatever the hell you want to call it, VidMe.
Right.
I've been on VidMe for a while. I don't really see any growth as much as I do on YouTube, but it's still young. It's still an early thing. And really, it's just a repeat of what I do on here anyway. And I'm not charging anybody to see it. Wink, wink.
Well, we also, all three of us tried that Mines, remember?
Yeah.
And it was, man, I think you got hit on by some sweet guy, and that same sweet guy hit on me, and I don't know if he did KS, but yeah, that was kind of a different deal there.
Yeah, I actually waxed my chest, Rich. You got me. And then I got another person listen to my boring podcast. I appreciate that, Big Daddy G. That's one thing I'm actually starting to really enjoy more than VidMe, only because I just like talking, and you don't have to look at me. You don't have to look at my hairy arms. Sorry, Suet. And it's just me talking about random topics, just random stuff. Yeah. So I like doing that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I've listened to them too.
Yeah. So
no, I actually have them on my phone.
Chaos, what are your thoughts on that VidMe stuff, man?
No, with YouTube being the Neanderthal that it is, and then Facebook also having video, and Twitter to a degree having video, there are some big names in the social media video landscape. I appreciate smaller companies or smaller endeavors coming on, but the likelihood that they would take off is extraordinarily narrow. And then you get into something like a gun channel or something that we all love and think is awesome. But what percentage of the YouTube population or video watching population would really get into it? For me, it's a no-go.
Yeah. Hey, 17, you got some questions. They're wanting to know about Al's asked twice, he says. He wants to know where the podcast is. So you want to just tell him to do it?
The original place it's called Podomatic. And then what you can do is you link it over to iTunes. So it's actually available on iTunes. So you just go on iTunes and do the search 1776 or bust.
Yeah.
It'll have 6 extremely boring maybe on an average 9.5 to 10 minute podcast. I mean, I don't sit there and talk for an hour.
Yeah.
I think the longest one I did was 15 minutes, but I just take random stuff. Like I said, sometimes it's gun stuff, sometimes it's politics stuff. And honestly, if you like it, great. If you don't, whatever. I like doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, and yes, this is I wouldn't call this a professional mic. It's funny because I told the other two guys on the panel what happened to the blue mic. My daughter's big into singing. She's young. She's got a very nice voice. So I gave her my mic. I said, go knock yourself out, kid. And then I found this one on eBay. And this is one of those Rode USB mics. So it's supposed to be really good. And I had sold something on eBay. So I only paid like, I think $80 for this. And it's supposedly like a $300 microphone. So I don't know. Sounds pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Let's see here. Minute account for VidMe. Okay. Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, and the Strike B guy, Red Dog, was asking, where's the Strike B at? Good question. I know I got an email from them saying that, I guess the ATF is backed up, so it's going to be a longer wait. So, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, and then Kevin is saying his home defense gun is a 300 Blackout AR pistol, but he also has several pistols strategically hidden around the house.
Kevin, what neighborhood do you live in?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I mean, like what I do, and I don't know how y'all do, this is probably something to discuss. I mean, what I do is I keep a gun, right next to me when I sleep, and I have magazines around my house. I never want a bad guy he would have hell to pay to try to find one of my guns, but, I think you need to have magazines around your house. I don't want just a bunch of guns laying around or having to try to find them in the dark or flipping on a light and trying to find them. Yeah, and as far as the fake book, I don't have a fake book account. I never have. I never will. I probably will do, what's the other one? The pictures, I forget. Instagram, yeah. I'll probably do an Instagram account. But yeah, I don't do fake book. Everybody that knows me knows how to get a hold of me. I don't need to talk to some, guy I played 6th grade football with.
Hey, KS, what do you have for home defense? Do you have a tank, flamethrower? What do you got around the house?
I have a series of stuffed clowns just strategically put around the house. Scares the shit out of people, man. You don't want a clown staring at you. No, I have several strategic firearms placed throughout the house that I can. I put them in the rooms that I am in 95% of the time. So I might not have a pistol in me with me in the bathroom, but in the main areas of the house where I am, I'm close enough to a firearm I can get to it before somebody can get through the door.
Well, when I was there, I moved them all.
Right.
But yeah, and we got some people agreeing, and let's see here. I guess Do It Right just finished the video for you. I gave all 3 of you guys a shout out too. Oh, cool. Appreciate it. Do It Right. Yeah. And if y'all haven't checked out Do It Right, he does some really great videos, man. He's a good guy, and disassembles a bunch of stuff and guns, and he's into all kinds of stuff. So that's cool. Rich said he used to live in Norman. Rich, are you talking about Norman, Oklahoma?
So really quick, home defense wise for me, I just have one pistol by the bed. I don't have too many guns out. I got 2 small kids, and I don't really have a big house. So if somebody breaks in, we got a game plan. Wife and kids know where to go, and they know what daddy will be doing.
Yeah.
So
taking care of business.
That's right.
Yeah, we do have a question. And Keenan is asking, how do you guys feel about lights on a handgun like the Surefire? He's on the fence because he thinks it gives away your position.
No, it can be quite a tactical advantage if you're right. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly blind someone, especially if it's got some sort of a strobe feature potentially. But some of those lights are almost painfully bright, and they've made them so small and so easy to use that that they can be handy. And for me, for a home defense gun at least, I would rather have one and not need to use it than not have one and need to use it, basically. And I want to keep my other hand free. I don't want to hold a flashlight. I want it all in one package.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I got a what is it? A TLR? I can't remember.
You have the 2 or the 3? You got the 3.
It's in my my safe right by my bed, and you know what? If somebody's in my house, I'm gonna shoot them. I mean, whether or not I'm giving away my position, when I pull that trigger and shoot them, I'm going to give away my trigger or my position either way. So I'd rather be able to blind them, startle the crap out of them, and just do what I got to do. That's it.
I do it 2 different ways. I've got the TRL-1 now, and people have asked why I prefer the 1, whether it be on a full size or a compact. I use the 1, so it's longer than the barrel, so I can stick it in their gut, and it will not knock the gun out of battery. That's my preference. Other people may do what they want to do. I don't care. That's what I like. So I do have one on my gun, but I also have a small Surefire that I can put, and I can actually hold it up high. So if they want to shoot my hand, that's great. If I need to activate the pistol, I'm good there too. So I do it both ways, and they're both right there on the nightstand, ready to roll. So that's just my preference.
You know, and I mean, you know, for people who, you know, talk about tactical lights on their guns, honestly, just go to Home Depot, buy yourself a nice bright LED flashlight.
Yeah.
Hold it in your hand, shine it in the direction that you hear the movement, and hold your gun out. You don't need to put a tactical light on anything, man. A bright enough light is going to startle somebody who's in the house in the dark enough for you to get a good target. And if they're coming at you, well, say goodnight. It's over.
Yeah. Well, and Wicked brings up a good point. He says, buy the small little lights that go into your light socket. And we actually do have those. And we don't just black out our whole house at night. We've got our outside lights on, and we've got some lights on in the house. But really, you know, we've never had a problem, but I don't see somebody, you know, people usually break into the houses that have no outside lights on, you know, and no inside lights on. They're usually going after that. I don't think they're going to walk into a house where it's very well lit up. But, you know, you never know. But yeah, we've got the lights on, you know, like in the hallways that have the little plug-in kind, like Wicked's talking about. And yeah, and he's also making a good point, you know, turn that 400 lumen light on. I mean, I've got some 800 lumen lights, and I guarantee you, when you hit those on a white wall, it definitely has some flashback. I mean, it's very bright, but you know, who knows your house better than you? You know, that's the way I look at it. So
let's see what else is going on. People never train as they will fight. That is true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I mean, you know, train while holding your gun and your flashlight. You know, I do know a lot of police officers, you know, and they're doing, you know, this with their light, you know, right under their pistol, or they're holding it out here. So it's just, you know, whatever they choose to do. Yeah, exactly. Humble's saying that they break in a house when nobody's home during the day.
That's why I got a dog.
Yep, I got 3 of them. So. Yeah, and Jesus has a very good point, and I've actually tried this myself. It is actually kind of hard to see your normal sights when you're holding a flashlight, or even when you have a pistol light on. But the way that I'm looking at it, you know, I think everyone here, and even in, you know, our subscribers, could probably do point and shoot at 7 yards, and they're going to hit a body. You know, I mean, they're going to hit a man-sized target. You know, so I, you know, if it's farther than that, you know, who knows what you got to do. But and Paradox is saying this chat's too damn short.
Well, unfortunately, I think if we went any longer, we'd run out of everything to talk about. We'd like to keep this channel with a little bit of, like, you know, interest. So I think if we went longer, it would just kind of, you know, die a horrible death.
Yeah, you know, we want to keep everyone engaged and try to get as many questions as we can answered. You know, we don't want to just ramble about rice and beans or whatever. So
hey, why do you got to bring that up, man?
No, I mean, I love rice and beans.
You don't want to ramble about cowboy hats and boots.
Hey, man, you know, some of us have it, some of us don't.
So, as we're getting relatively close to the witching hour, so to speak, are you guys working on any new projects? Anything new coming on board?
Big Johnson,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
17.
No, you first.
I've got a whole pile of crap on my desk, so that I need to get going. You know, I've got some VP9 plus 5 extensions that have been working so far, you know, with practicing at home and stuff like that. I've got that coming out. And I have a new toy that's going to be unveiled. I've got the Klinger soft tuck holster. I've got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, a whole pile of crap on the desk. So I'm trying to get to it as quick as I can. I even have videos I haven't even been able to put out. So I'm sure maybe y'all are in the same boat. What do you got, 17?
Well, I first want to address my friend, the humble marksman, by trying to claim that everybody who lives in the Northeast is a complete douchebag. I would like for all of you to know that I do not support the tearing down of monuments in the United States.
Oh, no.
That is a part of our American history. And as bad as that part was, it is still something we need to remember so that we don't do the same stupid crap over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Also, I'm in my 40s, not my 20s. So I would not be considered a millennial tool bag. So I take great pride in knowing that. Plus, I've had family who have fought for this country and have been gravely wounded in battle as a result. So I take it very seriously. On top of that, what else do I got coming? Well, I got the Steyr L9 coming at some point. Who knows? Next year, next millennia. I also got a surprise Glock coming. Another Glock 19, but I'm not going to tell you what it looks like because it's friggin' awesome. That's all I'm going to say. And I actually have a couple of surprises from Vetter coming, which I was shocked. And it's going to be pretty cool, man. I'm pretty excited. You know, and I'm just going to keep doing the podcast, just make some really, you know, decent videos. Actually, the good camera I was using broke. My damn lens stopped working, so I have to send it back to them. That's why the quality hasn't been so great with the lighting and everything. But I just replaced the lens, and I got it today. So I'll be starting to shoot a little bit better quality video again, which I kind of am excited about. And other than that, just keep shooting, working on the craft a little bit, getting a little bit better. You know, just working on some fundamentals. And one thing I definitely want to start working on a little bit more is rapid fire shooting. I'm just not real consistent with that. And I want to start getting better. So that's about it.
Nice. Nice.
You got KS?
I've got a couple things coming on the Vetter belt or belts here, so I'll be doing a little bit of a review on that. And I've been wearing one of them, extremely comfortable so far. That was lovely. And the 6-hour P229 is on the way here pretty soon. I've had a great time with it. And then this little fellow right here, the Car S9. And okay, so I put out that video a week or two ago. What size gun do you carry? I was surprised by how many people said car. I didn't think cars were as popular as everybody, all you good people who responded said. So it seems to be a well-liked and a well-appreciated gun. Maybe by me, maybe not. So stay tuned for that video.
All right, so we're getting to the final time, so I'll just mention one more time, AbaddonApparel.com, guys, CZ Mafia for life. You only got a few days left, 8 days, I believe, to get these T-shirts. All the proceeds go to CMAX. If you're there, pick up one of my shirts. Love this shirt, man. It's so cool. One of these days, I'm going to see somebody else wearing it besides myself and my son. But, you know, it's all good, whatever. But as always, guys, we appreciate you being on the channel. Again, next week, I think it's going to be who? UKS or?
Yes.
It'll be on KS Gun Guy's channel.
And real quick, also this week, you know, I've got the Real World Guns coming up this Saturday. Myself, 7 Up, 3 Down. So if y'all haven't subscribed to him, please do. 7 Up, 3 Down. One of my Texas brothers, he's going to shoot in it with me. And Kanosh P is one of the subscribers. He also has a channel too, and he's going to shoot in it with me. So we're going to go out and have a good time as long as we don't get into the torrential downpour that is expected. So hopefully we will get to go. Definitely looking forward to it. So, and I will be running the Tanfolio Stock 2 with the race belt that I've got, and we're going to see how it works out.
Cool. Sounds like a good time. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Keep watching. If you know anybody out there who's got an hour they want to kill and listen to 3 idiots, then send them our way. We're more than happy to have you. And just keep subscribing, keep watching, and everyone stay safe out there, as always.
And thumbs up, guys. Give us thumbs up. We appreciate it so much.
Except for the 3 that I'm.
By the way, it's 2 idiots and me. So thanks.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
So be safe, everybody.
Thanks,
have a great night.
We appreciate it.
See ya.
Later.